Welcome back to High School Football Weekly. Frank Wolf from WNY Athletics with Dick Gallagher from WGRZ High School Sports. We are joined actually, by Jake Burkholder from Southwestern and Bill Atlas from Wilson. And you may think we're playing in the semifinals, but we are not. These two teams are going to actually play at New Era Field, and it's like a long time coming. We saw it pretty much for the first few weeks that it was shaping up to be a Wilson-Southwestern final. We can have fun and speculate. You guys can't. You have to look at week 4 and then week 5. But, Dick and I and everyone else can kind of sit back and just enjoy the seasons that you guys had. And obviously commend you on perfect seasons to this point, 9-0. The last time you lost a game, though, was down at Southwestern. Mm-hmm. And for the last 2 years, it's been heartbreaking, those 2 losses. But, Wilson, you got here.
Yeah, finally.
This team's been standing in your way. And Jay, who's not here to enjoy this particular moment, but I know you and him worked very closely together, and his fingerprints are on this team just as much as yours are now.
Yep.
And Bill, you have your young son now playing quarterback there. I say young because I'm 40-something years old. But he is a senior. He had to sit back and kind of wait for his moment, and it's here now. And he pretty much solidified that last week with that Hail Mary touchdown, 70-plus yards to get you here. First of all, I know you're super proud to be the coach of Wilson, but just talk about how proud you are of your son.
Yeah, it's been a great experience watching him grow. Steven's a great quarterback. He's actually doing some great things in college right now. And I think it was good for Bobby to be behind him and learn the ropes a little bit and get a little bit stronger. And he's turned into a really nice-looking high school quarterback. So I'm super proud of him.
In that game, I know Drew Westmoreland wasn't able to finish, but we had talked earlier. He's ready to go, and he's been a guy who's been through the war with you guys. He went down to Southwestern, a big part of your football team. Just talk about how he's feeling. I know he's not here today, but just what's going through his mind as he gets ready to play at New Era Field for the first time.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He actually is here.
Okay.
He had no symptoms at all, and I know. You always worry about head injuries. If this was 20, 25 years ago, he probably would have played the second half. But I'm glad they kept him out because you never know with those. So, but we've had him on the elliptical, had him lifting. He'll practice today, and we've had no signs or symptoms of any type of head injury. So it's been great having him. I mean, I knew at a young age when I would coach him in youth that he was going to be a great football player. He's been playing middle linebacker for us since his freshman year, and he's made the playoffs every single year with us. So he's a big part of what we do defensively.
The one player that really stands out, or who has been standing out for the most part this year, is Declan Ferry. Just talk about how important he is to what you guys do, your game plan, and just how much he's matured as a player these last few years.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff we do offensively is really concept-based, so I don't want to go into a game saying we're going to get this guy the ball, because I think that's pretty easy to defend. So there's some weeks we've had to lean on him very, very hard, and there's other weeks that someone wants to take him away, and someone else will step up, which is good. But since the playoffs started, we've really needed to lean on him, and he's run great routes. He doesn't drop the ball. He's a great, big-size athlete, and one of the big reasons why we're where we are right now.
Did his dad play for Wilson?
He did. His dad played on this field in 1990, the last time Wilson was here.
So it's been close to 30 years since Wilson's been here. But you did it. You guys made it. We've been talking about you guys getting here. And, when did it become clear to you guys that this was a real possibility? Was there a game this season, maybe before the season? Actually, I remember seeing you guys at one of the 7-on-7s or scrimmage, and it just didn't look like things were clicking right then and there. So, there was some work to be done. You guys got it done. You got here. But at what point in the season did you take a look at, and your staff sit back and say, this is a real possibility here?
And I remember the day you're talking about those 7-on-7s, and I tried to tell the guys, we're still young at some spots. It's still early. 7-on-7 is a lot different than 11-on-11 tackle football, and I wanted to make sure they understood that too. There's certain things that you can and can't do. It doesn't really give you a good feel of what the season's going to look like. I think going in, Dick touted Akron as being one of the top teams in C North, and going into that game, once we were victorious there, I knew we really had a shot that we were rolling. My guys never want to make it easy on me, so we weren't really winning by 4 or 5 scores. Every game was a dogfight, but I think after that Akron game, I knew it was always a possibility that we could get a good roll through.
You have a senior-dominated team.
Yeah.
And
We
that jumps
always
out.
have small rosters. It's tough to get guys that want to play and stick around. So we finished the season before we brought guys up with 20 players, and 12 of them are seniors. So we'll have some holes to fill for next year, but we'll keep
When
rolling.
you look at your success in the last 3 years, and you've had other success, you can't beat it, and particularly keeping all those kids playing football and with the challenges that you've given them.
Yeah, and I just really hope that, and I try to tell them. Sometimes I even have some guys on the roster now that were sort of on the fence whether they wanted to play. I just explain to them it's the best game ever created. There's no other time in your life you'd be able to do that than right now, and you're going to really be disappointed in yourself if you don't play. And luckily I was able to change some minds, and they ended up coming out, and still every day they thank me for making them play.
That brings us to Jake Burkholder, who took over the Southwestern Trojans not too long ago. I believe it was right after Lackawanna.
Yes.
Was Jehu's last game.
Yep.
Your first game, you get a big win, 2-0 forfeit.
Yeah. Yep.
Not too many coaches are christened into Section 6 with
it was interesting.
Yes, it was, but you're here, and it's 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, whatever it is. What's it like taking over a program kind of mid-season from a guy like Jehu, who's well known? He played on this field, played for the Buffalo Bills, and coached your team, and you guys really changed the culture down there. But how is it? Has it been an easy transition?
I wouldn't say easy. We have kept everything very, very similar to the way things were run, even our day-to-day schedule, things like that. But all our coaching staff is great. We work together really, really well, so that's definitely helped with the transition. We've all kind of picked up some more responsibility and really kind of taken it from there.
Have the games gotten even more difficult the last few weeks? Out of the gate, you guys were 42-0, 40-8, 49-8, 42-0, 47-0. And then the last few weeks, see some teams starting to put up some points, 16-8. Have they gotten tougher? Has it gotten more stressful because you are now playing for pretty much all the marbles? You have a shot to win the Section 6 championship on Saturday. It's a game you guys have played in the last few years. You ran into a buzzsaw with Cleve Hill. Now you guys have Wilson, a team that you guys do have some success against, especially the last 2 years. Just talk about the mindset of where the Trojans are right now and how you can get over that last hurdle, if you will, cross that last river.
Yeah, there's always pressure to win games. We've built a pretty successful program at Southwestern, so the expectation is always there to win games. Getting back here for the 4th year in a row, it's kind of nice because these kids have been here and played here, and it's not as much of a shock or a wow factor being on the field. We've got kids, this is their 3rd or 4th time playing on this field, so I think that'll help us definitely. Just that kind of feels like home a little bit to an extent. And then our goal is to win a state title. So with that as our expectation, we're not looking by anything. This is the next game, the most important game that we have. But with that as our main goal, that's our focus and that's our drive, and that's really what's lighting the fire behind these kids.
Aiden Kennedy came in, assumed the quarterback position from Cole Snyder, who's down at Rutgers right now. How has it been for him to take over the reins from a quarterback who's a Connolly Cup favorite last year, a finalist? And then some of the other guys like Tywan Wright, who came up and has an electrifying year on both sides of the ball. Just talk about some of the players that we should be looking for come Saturday.
Yeah, Aiden's really grown this season. He's definitely taking more of a leadership role in the huddle, demanding more of a, more attention, more presence in the huddle. And the Taiwan and Conrad, Cooper, all these guys that are just getting more and more comfortable and really leading by example and helping the kids that are behind them and the kids that are next to them. So we're we have coaches on the field at all times, which is nice. These guys know the system. They know things in and out. They recognize things and are able to make adjustments on the fly.
I got to ask you, have you had any discussions with Southwestern about coming back next year? I know a lot of the players have been advocating. Is it something you could even think about right now, or is it just it's playoff let things will happen on its own.
Sure. Yep. Right now, this is our focus. This week, Saturday's our focus. Everything, we'll take care of that at the end of the season, and then see where that goes. So
It's been a joyride, though?
yeah, it's a blast. I love it. I graduated from Southwestern. I was fortunate enough to be able to play on this field a couple times. So it's fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
So it'll be Wilson, the Lakemen, and the Southwestern Trojans this Saturday, 6:30 p.m., the Class C Section C Championship. You'll definitely be able to hear that on Mixlr. Hopefully we'll be able to live stream that for you, but if not, at least you'll have it on the Mixlr, which is a internet radio. It's a free subscription. You can listen to it anywhere. I listen to it on my phone. I just listened to the Wilson game last weekend when I was down in Cortland, so I know you can listen to it wherever you are. Either way, guys, best of luck. It's going to be a great game, and a game that you as coaches will never forget, and, of course, the players too, which is what it's all about. And best of luck, and may the best team win.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much. Coach Ellis.
Thank you.
Pleasure to see you again.
Good luck.
We'll be back in just a few moments. We're going to talk to our Class AA coaches, Craig Dana from Orchard Park and Eric Rubb from Lancaster.